games on every end. Marc Gasol offensively and defensively with those rebounds and those blocks. Kawhi Leonard, I hate to say this because he was in San Antonio Spurs, but doing the business for Toronto Raptors in Canada, unfortunately. So, but we'd like to see, what I'd like to see is how they would set up against the 76ers. Equally, almost the same dynamic, both teams. So I want to see which big man will step up on the day. So this is where the real playoffs start, the semifinals. Those first round matches were pretty easy. A lot of teams, Celtics had the clean sweep. A lot of teams are through with 4-1. OKC is out. Portland Trail Blazers won with 4-1. The only tie I think that's still on, disappointingly so, is the Denver Nuggets and San Antonio Spurs. Denver Nuggets won it last night, and so they're one game away from getting to the semifinals. Or San Antonio Spurs will wake up and do the business, and then this will go all the way to a game 7. But what it is that for most of the first rounds, it was an easy one, apart from that Nuggets ties. Now in the semis, this is when the real playoffs start. So let's see how it goes.
Thank you.
All right, let's head on to our next story. This one talks about Divine Oduduru. Now, sprinter Divine Oduduru last weekend gave Nigerian athletics hope by running 9.95 seconds, a world-leading performance at the Michael Johnson Invitational Meet in Waco, Texas, in the USA. It was the first time a Nigerian sprinter is breaking the 10-second barrier since 2006, when Olusoji Fasuba broke the African record with 9.85 seconds run in Doha, Qatar.
Oh, big one for Divine. And I think what makes it what's helping him with his potential is he's still in school. So competition after competition, they don't give you scholarships for free. You have to run those scholarships out. so competition after competition, you find yourself improving and besting all of those. But he now has to carry that level from school, into his pro career, and then try to push for all those Diamond League wins. So apart from that, in as much as it's impressive to run sub 10, we applaud you, and we know that's great work, and we know that it's a great improvement on, especially for Nigerian sprinters. But what is most important is that when you get to pro level, when you get to the Olympics, when you get to Diamond Leagues, you're running the same sub 10.
You can keep or even do better than this.
Just keep that. We give you sub 10 first. Then we ask for more.
All right. Okay, let's go on to Formula One. Right? Ferrari head for important Azerbaijan GP with car upgrades. Ferrari boss Mattia Binotto has admitted they face an important weekend at Azerbaijan GP as they bid to ignite their World Championship challenge. The Italian team have also confirmed their car will feature a few updates as they look to counter rivals Mercedes' undefeated start to F1 2019. Now, Binotto, Ferrari's team principal, said, coming off the back of 3 races that definitely didn't go the way we wanted, this GP is another important moment for us.
Yeah, I think it's really, it's how would I put it? It's really crazy to say that Ferrari have not even been in the fight in the first 3 races. It's a sad one. You're supposed to have the fastest cars, but something keeps coming up. And it's not just down to pace, it's also strategy from the teams, and again, one driver with a mental block is all I can say. And so they are not even close. If you're looking at those that have showed up in the past 3 races, it has been Mercedes and Red Bull, not Ferrari. And so 3 races in, there are usually 21 races in the season. You don't even want to say, oh, it's only the start of the season. No, the marathon has already gone far. You can't be an hour behind, so you have to catch up. And I fear for these upgrades again, because it's trying to get more out of one part of the car and seeming to compromise another part of the car. And especially in a competition that reliability is already the issue, it can be very tricky. But at this point in time, he that is down needs fear no fall. They have to risk everything to see which one works. Hopefully this weekend they will come good in at some point. Otherwise, it's just going to be a boring season of which Mercedes driver is going to start better. And that would really be sad to see. So let's see if any of these upgrades work for Ferrari at the end of the by Sunday. Otherwise, we are back to Luiz versus Valtteri Bottas. Who is winning?
All right, Lakers. Don't forget you can get your messages in. We are at Smooth 91 FM, and you can use the hashtag LockerRoom981. There are two R's in Locker Room. Don't forget that. Also, reach out to us on WhatsApp. The number to send your messages to is 0809 444 0981. That's 0809 444 0981. Let's talk about the troubled Manchester United and, of course, the other giants, Manchester City. So, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Pep Guardiola were at the center of a disagreement over tactical fouls on the eve of Wednesday's crucial Manchester derby. Now, the Manchester United manager held a news conference earlier on Tuesday and claimed that City deliberately foul high up the pitch to stop opponents from counter-attacking. But Guardiola rubbished the claims at his own news conference in the afternoon, insisting he has never set up a team he has managed to foul tactically. And I mean, it goes on and on, but can this be true?
Look, whether it is true or not, how exactly is it Manchester United or Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's business? It is not your business how a team, your opponent set up or whatever. If that is what they do, find a way to counteract it. But I think most teams do this thing. You rather foul a player higher up the pitch so that there is less of a risk of a goal arising from fouling, deeper and whatnot. It's common sense. And there's no team that I know.
It's football 101.
There's no team that I know, and there's no team. And the players are professionals and have the experience to know that you're better off fouling higher up the pitch than close to the edge of your box. I mean, it's plain and simple. So I that's a little bit amateurish. It's a bit amateurish commentary to come from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. That said, it's not surprising considering how bad things have gotten for Manchester United over the last couple of games, losing 4-0 to Everton and having been summarily decimated by Barcelona in the Champions League. So confidence is short. The turnaround that everyone had been talking about, the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer revolution, seems to have come to a tepid end, rather prematurely. And there are some who say, look, what on earth was the rush in trying to give him a permanent contract so soon? All of that in the battle for the top four against a team that is battling for the Premiership title and who have over the last couple of games really grown in leaps and bounds. Whether they're playing well or not, they've found a way to get their results, and that is what Manchester United is up against. That's not to say that it's been a Manchester derby, the players will not try and bring their game together, and many neutrals will hope for that. We can only hope. That is all that we can.
So what do you think it can swing, though?
Look, at the end of the day, the momentum is currently in favor of Manchester City. They're playing with confidence. They're playing with belief. They have a target. So far, all the obstacles that have been placed before them, they have surmounted. I believe that Manchester United currently do not have the wherewithal to stop the juggernaut that is Manchester City. If they do stop it, it will be a pleasant surprise and interesting for the league, but not many hold out hope for that.
All right, Lakers, tell you what, let's go on a quick break. When we get back, we'll do some more talking. Don't forget you're listening to The Locker Room on Smooth 98.1. Look at this.
You're welcome to the home of great music. Smooth 98.1.
Like fun.
They're the ones who love us for who we truly are.
The trashy won't be as bad, but they will definitely lose.
And funny enough, it's rich coming from him at the far high up the pitch. The chances are that Manchester United in this game will spend a lot of time defending deep to try and prevent them from scoring.
Yes, I don't know. It's a comment that you expect someone like Mourinho to make.
Every coach looks for a psychological advantage. It was silly for people to think that Mourinho is the worst person on the planet. Every coach, the fact that he says it with blue eyes and blonde hair doesn't make it any worse.
No, but
At
his
the
own
end
is
of
his
the
own
day,
is worse. It just says the
no.
most ridiculous things.
And
Well, not the most ridiculous
he
things,
does.
but
Mourinho always speaks truth. You may not like how it came out. You may not like the tone. You may not like his attitude. But at the end of the day, when you look at it, it's just true. Everybody looks for a psychological advantage. Let me tell you what's going to happen today now. The referee will start looking for those fouls higher up the pitch.
yeah.
End of discussion. He
Which
has
is true. He has put it out
he
there.
has put, do you understand? He has pointed you in the direction he wants you to look. That's what people do. You think they are doing it because of like he doesn't know that it is smarter to foul higher up the pitch. He played this game now. But what he has done, he has pointed the referee in a particular direction.
I'm gonna find it there.
It's psychological advantage. It's around nonsense. If you say multiplier foul higher up the pitch, think about it.
Do we even have the
Would he rather
how
not
to do it?
Matic fouls there than Smalling fouls? Do you understand? It's not, it's psychological. So he's just pointing the referee in the right direction and causing all manner of distraction.
No airline connected to Southern Africa.
And Pep Guardiola will now say, no, we don't even foul. Fernandinho today, I don't even tackle today.
South African Airways. Alaves give you a special treat aboard our
Everybody looks for a psychological
Lagos to
advantage.
Victoria Falls, Lusaka, Ndola.
Should we come back with Barcelona or David Luiz?
Come back with David Luiz because it happened.
No transit visa required to any of our Southern Africa destinations. Visit
Come back with David Luiz.
So David Luiz. Okay.
Yes, then after David Luiz, then you can go back to Barcelona.
Bringing the world to Africa, taking Africa to the world.
So you take the David Luiz story.
Mm.
Novak needs to stay on the wall.
Okay.
Literally. Put your back up on the wall. Come on. Eh? Put your back up on
I
the
see
wall.
those things.
Tegado. So they did again. Is it better this time?
Whoa. It's not better. I'll just remove it later. It's already. I don't know. There's something that doesn't just work with using normal paint and then gel on top. But the people have been doing it. Maybe it's just their own. It's not even good at all.
Maybe they don't know how to do the trick.
I think so.
Guys, the Samsung Galaxy A10 and A20 are as sleek and affordable as they come.
For more information, call 0800 Samsung or visit FinTrack at number 22 Ogbeni Road, Ikeja, Lagos.
Love music, love music.
Okay.
Love life. Love music. Love music. Love music.
Love music.
My lifestyle is music.
Hi, my name is Catherine.
My name is Chinaza.
Hi, this is Femi Tamara.
Hi, my name is Judith Sakuma.
This is Smooth.
Love music.
Ayo.
I'm bringing it up.
What?
I'm bringing it. It's your love music, love life station here, Smooth 98.1, Smooth Breakfast with Kayode Bakerr.
And Ayo Mairo Ese.
And this is the Locker Room 981. We have with us here Tega and Brutalistix. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, you'd see what Tega is up to right now in the studio. If you want to watch, it's YouTube, Smooth 98.1 FM, and on Twitter, we are the same at Smooth 98.1 FM, and on Facebook as well. If you'd like to send your message, you can send it into WhatsApp 0809 444 0981. We love your banter, we love your comics, and we love all that you send to us through WhatsApp. Please keep it coming. Right, so moving on to some more football. David Luiz slams Burnley's tactics. He says they played anti-football. David Luiz slammed Burnley's anti-football tactics as Chelsea were held to a 2-2 draw on a frustrating evening for Maurizio Sarri's side. He said, "We tried everything to win the game, but it's difficult playing a team who has 2 chances, scored 2 goals, but didn't want to play the game. For me, the authority on the pitch is the referee, and when he's not there to check or to try to check what he has done on the pitch, it is difficult. They were trying to time waste from the first minute on the first half, and then it was anti-football, so it's difficult to play against. What do you think about this, Brutalistix?
Well, okay, so well, they played football. Let's not make any mistake about it. Burnley played to their strengths. They were playing a team that had a pretty good, strong record at home. They played what was a typical away team's performance. They tried to manage the game. They tried to be solid defensively. And to be honest, I think Chelsea had themselves to blame, because on the two rare occasions that Burnley had opportunities, set pieces, they were found wanting. And this is something that you'd expect that a team like Chelsea would have done their homework sufficiently to know what to prepare for. I don't see anything that Chelsea, I beg your pardon, Burnley did that any other team in their position would have done. Even Chelsea, when maybe they're playing a slightly far superior team, if they have a goal advantage, they will try and manage the game, slow it down, break the play up, and things like that. There's nothing you can call it anti-football. You're not, so long as what they're doing does not run counter to the letter of the football law. It's all fair game.
That's their tactic.
So at the end of the day, they were found wanting in terms of their defensive performance. Up front, when they had lots of possession, they refused to create the chances that they needed to. They were unlucky in certain phases. But look, this is all the pressure of trying to make the top four. And I can understand where they're coming from with their frustrations, but don't knock a team that is playing for their survival. They're interested in their performance and getting the result that they need. Can they just leave Burnley alone, please? They did a good job. Chelsea have a lot more to do to try and get better. Let's see how they go in the next couple of games for them and their battle for the top four.
All right, Liga. So we see all your messages up on Twitter. We're going to get to them just in a little bit. In fact, let's do that right now.
Isayadele Okunfolami says, what Man United needs to do is to get back to sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and we appoint him on interim basis. Really, Ayo?
That could work.
And then Cruz has this to say. Cruz says, Man U's situation now needs Sherlock Holmes for deep investigations. Now, it's clear to the entire galaxy of 9 planets that it's not just a coach problem they've had for some years now. Ferrari seems to be playing shadow games with themselves. Maybe they were not told that the marathon has started. Now, only them, Wakakom, says Cruz. Big E from Ketu says, I said it. I know we have a runner that can beat Usain Bolt's record. However, Man U is... Okay, so... moving away from that, he says Man U is a team on coma and they can't get out of their bed to meet top 4. Giving Ole Gunnar that contract was too sudden. The club should have waited till the end of the season. Look at the same people that said, Lord, Lord, as one shouting, crucify him, crucify him. Oh, yes, about time. All right, Kayode says David Luiz should not complain of Burnley's style of play. Man City will still beat Man U well. Tega, please send me Sari's number. He needs to go, I beg.
All right, let's take some more stories. Let's talk about Barcelona. They're soon to be champions. Okay, so Barcelona have one hand firmly on the La Liga title after winning 2-0 at Alaves on Tuesday, now leaving them 12 points clear at the top of the table with 4 games to play. So Sergio Busquets said he would rather prefer to win the title at home to celebrate in front of the Camp Nou faithful than win because of an Atleti slip up.
I beg, take anyone that comes. Whether they slip up, whether you win it by victory via victory is of no consequence. Bottom line is that you've won the championship, and you'd want to wrap that up. If you are the manager, you'd want to wrap that up knowing that you have a tough fixture against Liverpool, where they have the better team. If you like yourself, they have the better team. So what it is if Atletico Madrid slip, and that's a tough team already. So if they slip up against them, then that's fair game for you. Rejoice, celebrate, clap your hand, win your game over the weekend, and know that you've locked up shop. Now all your big players can sleep till the end of the season. You've won the league.
So you can try out players.
Yeah, exactly, because I mean, think of it. Even yesterday, Messi didn't start the game. They had scored the 2 goals that won the game before the coach now brought him on the pitch. I believe that Messi just wanted to run around. I think that boy just likes to play in the sand. He loves to play on grass. That's what it is. Because the game was already won and they brought him up to run around. No goals were added. Nothing spectacular was done. Just him running around. So, and they want games where they can be resting those key players, especially as they try to wrap up, they still have to win the Copa del Rey, and then they have to win, and then they're trying to win the UEFA Champions League. So those are matches that will exert you physically and mentally. And if you have the La Liga done, it will give you more time to do what you want to do. So stop bragging. Take whatever happens. If Atleti sleeps, thank the Lord. If you win it by your own victory, thank the Lord.
Thank the Lord either way. All right, so Omasan says when Jose said taking second with this team is his greatest achievement, you guys laugh.
We did.
Tega, did you laugh? Brutalistix, did you laugh?
Yeah.
Well done for admitting.
No, but he did do good at his own time.
I didn't laugh. I was like, all these players need to go, and they're bad. They're largely average players. I think Sir Alex Ferguson looked at his team one day and was like, I don't think this team will win anymore. Championship. It just be sad.
No, but can I say I laughed at Jose Mourinho because to be fair, he had money at his disposal to buy players.
Yeah.
He bought what he thought was good, and he just added it to what was an already bad pot and made really bad soup worse.
I know. I don't think it's him. I think it's Edward. Ed Woodward, because he wakes up and says, "I want centre backs," and he gets Fred. Please, in which planet is Fred the centre back?
He said he wanted Benzema. He was the one that went to go and bring Eric Bailly now.
No. He went to bring Edward Bailly the season before.
Yes.
The next season, he still said, "I want centre backs."
And he
Because
brought Lindelof. He's
no,
not the one that said he wanted
he's
Bailly.
not the one that bought.
Man U
No,
does have a
Man
lot
U,
of
yes,
defensive,
Man U did not give him the leeway to do many things, and Ed Woodward had categorically said it. And so when he asked for centre back, and you bring in Sanchez and Fred, you're not giving him what he wants. When he asked for defensive midfielder, hold on, I'm not done. He brought Matic in the first season. Even when he brought Matic in the first season, Matic was not enough for me. By the time Mourinho came into that team, he should have sold at least 11 players.
Okay, I don't know.
And, yes, 11.
Okay,
There were
now,
11.
Let me I can't look.
We do have to go on a break though.
But since the day Mourinho claimed he was the special one, I can't feel sorry for him anytime.
That's what you will say. That's what you will say.
I wish you can. If you're not on YouTube, then you don't know what you're missing out on. Today it's been just watching them in wonder. Like it's just watching like a tennis match, left, right, left. But we have to go on that break. When we come back, we continue with that with the comments. We end with comments and hopefully take one story if we have time. This is the locker room. It's okay.
They have to do a whole Like,
who you buy? Who you buy?
No, then we give to Southampton.
Who you buy? Southampton will not agree.
They'll buy them at a loss. Are they that bad?
They're overpriced.
No,
I'm no longer in Man United.
Players in that team for too long.
And you know, it's the same thing. It's the same thing that they tended to accuse Arsenal of.
They did.
That they were just a team, like a squad full of average players on like all those sort of.
So now what Arsenal is doing?
But who are the top players?
Arsenal is bringing in the good players one after the other and trading out some average players. But that's what it is. It's going to have to happen. The problem is that Manchester United fans don't want to believe that they are in that phase. So they are not giving their coaches time. You need a period of 5 years to rebuild. Let's give it.
5 years is a long
Yeah,
time.
but again, to be fair, if you want to rebuild your team, does Jose Mourinho strike you as a kind of manager that will do that kind of rebuilding?
No. Jose Mourinho is a wholesale manager, which is why Ed Woodward couldn't sign check. Ed Woodward is an accountant. You see,
already.
Just like that.
6 stories. I put a short liner because I thought we wanted to go quickly.
Okay. One last story.
That's right. That's who we are. We're Smooth 98.1, and this is the locker room. Okay, so we got comments here, and we got a few more stories to share.
We have one more story to share. Actually, maybe we'll take a comment and then story, or we'll do. Tega, mind yourself. All right, Unai Emery says Champions League qualification is in Arsenal's hands. Unai Emery says Arsenal's Premier League top 4 ambitions are in their own hands as they head to Wolves tonight. We have it in our hands, says Emery. At the beginning of the season, after winter, we struggled in the table. Our way is not changing. We're in a position with a big possibility of making our first target. The key moments are now. Tomorrow is today. Today is a big moment and a big match for us.
Okay, so it will remain in your hands so long as you stop faffing about with your midfield, for the love of the Almighty. Why do you persist in playing such rubbish? Look, you had a good opportunity against Crystal Palace at home, where you have been phenomenal with your home record. You tend not to do very well away. yeah, the result I think against Watford was probably the exception rather than the rule. And you're going against a team that is notorious for turning up against top 4, top 6 opposition.
Yeah.
Those guys have a midfield that will run you ragged. Yes, you had injuries and things like that. But look, if you had played the kind of team, and he made the same mistake, if memory serves me correctly, against Everton, played El Neni, played Guendouzi, that midfield combination has been tried and tested in failure. And yet you persist in trying to make water come out of stone. Who are you? You know, anyway, look, for Arsenal fans, yes, it is in their hands, but going against a team like the Wolves, away from home, considering how strongly they performed when they played you at the Emirates, you know, it's going to be a tough ask. Let's hope that they can get the performance that they desire, but Arsenal's away record doesn't inspire one with confidence. So if they lose that match, it's no longer in their hands.
Oh gosh. All right. Okay, let's go to our comments. Thank you so much for being very brutally honest, Brutalistix. This is Shay, but Man U would have left Ole Gunnar as acting coach. Remember, they left Roberto Baggio as acting coach and he won Champions League.
That's true.
Tega, do you mind one day you'll be Falcons coach? But for real, Tega, please send us Sarri's coach. He should meet us at Obalende for a meeting, Joe. All right, Shay.
And Chimo Victor here says from Alaba International, Tega, fear not, because Unai Emery is the king of Europa League. We will surely win it. That I will tell you this morning.
All right, thank you very much indeed. Kingsley says, Brutalistix and my CC, well, that's Tega in the studio. You guys are really making my money. All right. Thank you, Kingsley, for that one. We'll go on to Twitter for our final comment for this morning. Twitter has it here. This is from Agbejoro on Twitter. What a name. Sarri has to be the most tactically ignorant coach. All his subs are like for like, can never play 2 strikers if he needs a goal, always 4-3-3. I'm just tired. He can never capitalize on opportunities. He should just go. All right, maybe tonight we'll see Sarri, hashtag Sarri out.
No, at the end of the season, I predict he might leave. He will leave.
People have been predicting. I think they love him. He's like another Arsene Wenger.
All right, Lagos, that's all we can take today on The Locker Room. Thank you so much. Special thanks to our analysts at Tega Supreme up on Twitter, and also at Brutalistix with an X up on Twitter as well. And, well, you can continue the conversation with them as well to know if Sarri is going to be fine.
Make sure you're following them for tonight's match. It will be amazing to read it, particularly if this guy, Emery, does misbehave again. That you have something to talk about.
All right, Lagos, stay close. We've got something special coming your way. That's around on Lagos Talks, basically. Don't forget...
we're talking police reform on
yes.
Lagos Talks, and we're going to be having representatives from the police force. So please get your questions ready, and we will open the phone line so you